Hey there, Craig here from Elevate Chiropractic, and in this week's video we're going to be talking about using heat. Last week we talked about using ice. This week we're going to be using heat. I'm going to give you some basic guidelines to follow so that you can get the most benefit from using it. So I've talked a lot about using heat in the past in my previous blog posts and videos. I'm a really big fan or proponent of using heat for those general body aches and pains. Most people that come and see me, if they got shoulder tension, tightness, neck pain from working at computers, these types of things, then this heat's usually the best way to go for that. Of course, if you've got a fresh injury, then ice is good for that. So heat is not good for those really fresh acute injuries, any signs of swelling, any signs of acute inflammation. In those cases, ice is most likely a better thing to use at that stage. And you can watch my previous video on that if you haven't seen it yet. So what is heat doing and how should we use it? So when you apply heat to an area, it gives us that feeling of warmth or comfort. And our brain likes to feel protected and warm, and that's why, and that's where it can make things feel a little bit better, hopefully. Also, when you apply heat to an area, that warmth tends to start to penetrate a few centimeters within the tissues, which starts to warm them up, and that draws fresh blood to the area, which washes away the toxins and helps start that healing process. And that's where I think the most benefit from heat comes. There's also been some new research to suggest that heating could help with DOMS. So if you've done a big workout, big leg workout, and 2 days later you're struggling to walk up the stairs, heat is potentially a good option for that. I'm going to do a little bit more research on this because it's quite interesting for me, and I'll make a video on this in the next week or so, so definitely stay tuned for that one. When it comes to things like heat rubs, now I'm asked about these all the time, things like Deep Heat, Tiger Balm. Now these don't actually heat the surface, they give you a feeling of heat, which is a bit different than actually heating the surface. These rubs and creams tend to have chemicals in them which give you a mild chemical burn, similar to like the chemical in chilies, and this gives you that feeling of heat but not actually heating the surface. Now one of the theories on why this works is that it acts as a counter-irritant or a neurological distraction. It takes your mind off the pain, which makes things feel better. Now, even if that is the case and it's just purely a distraction that takes your mind away from the pain, if it works, it works, and by all means keep doing it if that makes it feel better. Now, we've all talked about the placebo effect, and if you think it's helping and it feels like it's helping, then keep on doing it. So there's two main ways of applying heat. We've got local heating and we've got systemic heating. So local heating, using things like our trusty wet bag, you pop in the microwave with a glass of water, and then you can apply that to the area. You can also use hot water bottle. If you don't have access to any of those, one thing you can do is you can soak a flannel in hot water, pop it in a plastic bag so you don't get wet, apply that to the sore area. Of course, with that one you're going to have to probably reuse it a little bit more often because it will cool off quickly. But if you don't have access to a wet bag or a hot water bottle, if you're traveling, that can be a good option. Of course, there's things like heating pads. You can buy those packs from the chemist as well that heat up. So any of these things are going to give you that localized heating. And then we have systemic heating, which is heating your entire body. So this is things like a hot shower, a bath, a spa, a sauna. All these types of things are going to heat the body, but it'll heat the whole thing rather than just a localized area. Of course, I love a spa. I wish I had one, but I'm a big fan of that local heating, using your wet bag in particular, but whatever you've got to localize, heat that particular area. So when we apply heat, you can use heat for as long as you like. My general rule of thumb that I like to suggest for people is short 20-minute bursts. Now I think that's going to be more effective, say over the course of an hour, to do 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off, 20 minutes on again. That's going to give you a couple of big bursts of heat rather than just one big long one that slowly will start to cool off as your heating source starts to cool down. That's the rule of thumb that I go by and it seems to work well for me, but if you want to leave it on for an hour, by all means do that, but I think those short bursts are going to be a little bit more effective. So the basic guidelines to follow when using heat. If you've been at work all day, you've been hunched over your computer, a bit achy, a bit tension, you've been spending too long in the garden and your back's a bit achy, you can use heat. When you apply the heat, put it on for 20 minutes, leave it off for a while, put it back on again, and you can cycle through like that as often as you like. If you have a fresh injury and you've acute injury with swelling and inflammation, then don't use heat, use ice. But by all means, in general, muscular aches and pains, use that heat. So there you have my guidelines on how to use heat most effectively. I'm going to link a couple of blog posts which I've written in the past, which goes into this in more detail. So if you're one of those people that likes detail, by all means go and read those. But hopefully you found this video useful. Of course, if you've got any questions, please comment down below. I'll do my best to answer those for you. But until next time, take care, and I'll see you soon.